Hello, my name is Glenn Dyer, and you are watching a Dyer-Situation. Today I'm seeing... Fistfight! Sorry. I had trouble thinking of it for a second. I was trying to buy for time with the intro. Yeah, Fistfight, yeah. It's like the comedy movie with Ice Cube and what's his name? Charlie Day. Yeah, from It's Always Sunny. Yeah. So, interesting pair-up, I guess. I think they're trying to kind of replicate what, the success that, Central Intelligence had with, teaming up, Dwayne Johnson with Kevin Hart, a really big guy with a really small guy. Because, you know, Ice Cube is a lot bigger and tougher than Charlie Day, that's for sure. So, even though they're not teaming up, they're going to fight each other. The joke is that the little guy has got to fight a big guy for some reason. So, I don't know, I think it's good. I think there's hope for it. I do like both of them. Yes, especially, and I know that, like, both of them can be really, really good, comedy-wise. In fact, like, Charlie is probably my favorite character on It's Always Sunny, so... yeah, I guess I'm mildly interested in this. Yeah, I think it has potential. Let's get into it. Fuck. Yeah, this sucked. Well, I should have seen it coming, I really should have, but yeah, I tend to forget, no matter how good the choice is for this team-up, no matter how good the actors are, if you don't get a good writer, it always sucks. And for some reason, Hollywood comedies are just dedicated to not having good writers, and I don't get why. This, so, here's one of my main issues with it. A lot of the jokes in this aren't very funny, for one thing, but I can deal with that. I can deal with jokes that I don't find funny. I just need the structure there. I've mentioned this many, many times. It's not necessarily the joke itself, it's how it is told. That's what makes things funny. That's what makes good comedy. Okay? That's why I can appreciate The Brothers Grimsby as a good comedy, even though I didn't find any joke particularly funny. Because Sacha Baron Cohen, as outlandish as he is, knows how to structure these things. Let me give you an example of how this movie fails at that. So it sets up a joke, where a student is masturbating in the bathroom, okay? This is the kind of humor it goes with. As I said, Sacha Baron Cohen does stuff a lot worse than that, but he can make it funny. So, the student is masturbating, so what do we have? Charlie Day walks in and tells him to stop, and then the kid keeps doing it. Okay, that's a setup. Then another teacher comes and thinks that he walks into the boys' bathroom hearing this conversation and thinks that Charlie Day is perving. Okay? So we've heightened it up a little, so what's the payoff here? She calls him a pervert, and the scene ends. Okay. They call back to this joke later in a couple ways. One, by having the teacher who saw him, like, get extremely violent about it, like, I want you to slit that guy's throat, he's a pervert. Okay, where's the joke? And then the second way is that guy is masturbating again during the fist fight, and they burst in on him, like, as they're fighting, they burst in and smash the door onto him, accidentally, and he says, "I still finished!" That's not a joke, okay? That's not a setup, that's not a payoff, that's just an incident. And that is that's a prime example of this fucking movie. Just a whole bunch of incidents with no setup, no payoff, just comedic-ish moments. This isn't that complicated, folks. Come on. People in... Even the shittiest comedies of the 80s, they understood they have to be written as a movie first in order to be a good comedy. This bullshit, you could watch 10 minutes of and have the exact same amount of, like, humor as watching the entire movie. And maybe that's the point, because this is a millennial thing and, like, nobody pays attention for very long, but it doesn't make for a good movie. Nobody's gonna remember this a week later. No, like, maybe somebody will rent it in a year, but, like, nobody's gonna wanna see this movie again. Not really. It's an absolute tragedy of comedy that this keeps on happening. That we keep on getting shit like this. And that's not even mentioning the types of jokes, comedic instances that are being portrayed here. Like, one of the teacher's quirks is that she wants to rape someone. And I guess that is funny because she is a woman, so women raping someone is funny. Whatever, it's a double standard, but still, so even in that sense, it's not the kind of humor I would go for. But just reiterating, if it had at least a good structure, I would have a good time, as was most people. Piece of shit. And also, I have to emphasize on this, if you do, I highly recommend against this, because it is not very funny, but if you do plan on making a movie like this that is essentially just a bunch of comedy quirks and a bunch of, like, comedic moments with no setup or payoff, just a whole movie like that, then please, for the love of God, stop inserting some social commentary bullshit partway through to make it seem like this movie's about something. Like, two-thirds of the way into the movie, Ice Cube suddenly brings up, well, you know what, I thought if we fight, it would bring a lot of attention to the school, and maybe we'd get some actual change to our educational system. Fuck you, movie. Stop pretending that you're about something. Stop pretending that you stand for something. Stop pretending that this movie in any way reflects reality. Okay? This high school that they present is nothing like any realistic high school at all. It's meant to be a complete parody of that, so you can't bring in real-world stuff and pretend that it works. It doesn't. Okay? And this happens in many of these movies. I remember Bad Moms. They had a shoved-in thing about, like, kids gotta grow by themselves. They can't be forced into school all the time just learning the same shit. And, what else? Like, I think Office Christmas Party had something about, like, something very similar to what Bad Moms had. Just, like, you gotta be free in the workplace and stuff, and like, stop pretending you're about something. If you're gonna be just like schlocky crap, just be schlocky crap. Stop tying in this bullshit so people can say, oh yeah, the movie had a message to it. You know what the message was? Give me your money. That's what the message of this movie is. That's what the message of Office Christmas Party is, and all these other half-assed piece of shit movies that you'll forget in a week. So yes, I didn't like it. And I am not looking forward to the next incarnation of this, which I'm sure will come out in a couple weeks. So until then, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching a Dyer-Situation.